Smile, John.
Yeah.
Good evening. We're in Studio 5C tonight. It's October 19th, Sunday, 2025. And it's my pleasure and distinct honor to be speaking with the 100-year-old John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing tonight, Mr.
Very
Jeckovich?
good, very good.
You're looking well. Yesterday you had a busy day. You were up since 6 a.m. to midnight. You had lots of parties. A couple hundred people came. A parade came for your 100th birthday. Are you tired or are you well rested?
I'm all rested, yeah.
You're all rested? Well, you look nice in your new clothes. You certainly do. Your beautiful great-granddaughter, Amber Nicole Jeckovich, that generally visits you 3 or 4 or 5 times a week, she's in North Carolina right now.
Yeah.
She says hello, and she says she'll see you in 1 week.
Okay, yeah. What's he doing in North Carolina?
She's visiting her family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's going from there to Kentucky. Yeah, so there we go. In 1 week, Amber will be back, and we'll be back in the saddle again, because I know you certainly enjoy Amber's company.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, right?
Right.
We got lots of questions on that big, beautiful book of yours. How many pages is it?
849.
Wow. I know you didn't own a computer or have access to Google. How'd you write it out?
On yellow paper.
Yellow legal pads,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Wow. And also, a lot of questions I get is, how much is the book and where can I buy it?
Not for sale.
No, that's right. The book is not about money. It's not for sale. Mr. Jeckovich wrote this book to give a roadmap to younger generations, younger people, about have a simpler and more wholesome life, with emphasis on wholesome life. I pulled some excerpts out of the book last night. I'll give you an idea of what we're talking about. Oh, by the way, we have Mr. Jeckovich has about 600 plus YouTube videos, and we started from page 1 of his book. We took it to 849 once, and then we started over again with page 1, and now we're on page about 300.
Oh, boy. Moving fast, huh?
Yeah, that book went by fast. So, long story short, you listen to the book for free, and the excerpts I pulled out were simply this. Mr. Jeckovich is trying to make things better for his grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the younger generation. And some of the examples are this. I'd like for them to know about hand-me-down clothes, homemade ice cream, and leftover meatloaf sandwiches. I hope you learn humility by being cheated, and honesty, I hope you learn humility by being humiliated, and honesty by being cheated. I hope you learn to make your own bed, mow the lawn, and wash the car. And here's a very important fact. I hope no one gives you a brand new car when you turn 16. That's the worst thing you can do to a person, to a kid, to a 16-year-old. Let them earn it. Let them buy a couple $1,000 car, and they sure will appreciate it better. Yes, they sure will. It'll be good once if you at least see puppies being born and your old dog put to sleep. I hope you get a black eye for fighting something you believe in. I hope you have to walk uphill to school with your friends in a safe town. You walk from Orleans Avenue to Niagara Falls High School, right?
Yeah.
And then from Niagara Falls High School to Trot Vocational High School. And then from there you walk to Fall Street where you worked at SS Kresge.
Yeah.
What was that total mileage each day?
I say about 20 miles.
Yeah, that's all the way across the city and back. And then when you got to SS Kresge's, you did have a big treat waiting for you. Your mother was what?
A cook there.
And she made you some beautiful lunches.
Yeah.
Did you eat up at the snack bar?
I ate down in the basement.
Your mother said you ate in the basement, right?
Yeah.
Did you also work at SS Kresge?
In Stockport.
What's your stock primarily?
Huh?
What's your primarily stock?
Christie's? Novelties.
Novelties, okay. Yeah, that was a 5 a dime store that later turned into Kmart, and that location later became Jupiter. Remember Jupiter? Yeah. Okay, let's see what else he says. If you want a slingshot, I hope your dad teaches you how to make one instead of buying one. What were the slingshots you made back in the 30s?
They were flimsy.
Tell us how you made them.
2x4, put a nail at the bottom of it, get a rubber band from the car tire, but it didn't have the velocity or anything.
Yeah, so back then all the cars had inner tubes.
Yeah.
You pulled an inner tube out, you cut it up, and you flung that.
Yeah.
Did it put a red mark on you?
No, that wasn't much velocity.
It wasn't that powerful. Yeah. May you skin your knee climbing a mountain and burn your hand on your stove and stick your tongue on a frozen flagpole. Here's a very important part. I like this the best of all. I don't care if you try a beer once, but I hope you don't like it. And if a friend offers you drugs, I hope you realize they're not your friends. That's very important. That's very important. I hope you make time to sit on the porch with your grandparents and go fishing with your uncle. May you feel sorrow at a funeral and joy during the holidays. I hope your mother punishes you for breaking your neighbor's windows with a baseball and hugs and kisses you at Christmas when you give her a plaster mold of your hand. These are the things I wish for you. Tough times and disappointment, hard work and happiness. To me, it's the only way to appreciate life, right?
Right.
So if you don't go through tough times, you're not going to know good.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich was born inside of a house on 13th Street on October 17, 1925. Went through the Great Depression, and right after that he rolled right into being drafted in World War II. So he knew tough times. That house on and then finally you moved into a rental house in Eli Avenue, and then your mom and dad got a break. Mr. Belden, who was a builder and a realtor, financed this brand new house on 3063 Orleans Avenue for your mom and dad.
Yeah.
And that was the first house that had a bathtub in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Where was it prior?
In the sink.
Kitchen sink, yeah. And so every month, as a young boy, 9, 10, 11, you would run up the monthly mortgage payments of $46.21 of Mr. Belden.
Yeah.
Finally, the house mortgage was satisfied. They had great pride of ownership, and Mr. Jeckovich took care of his mom there from his age 11 to his mother's demise at her age 89. And so that was a beautiful street back then, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, a beautiful street, yeah.
Really a nice street. How many houses were on it?
3.
Yeah. And then on December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor got hit by the Japanese. Your mother came running up to Jill Creek. You were ice skating, right?
Yeah.
And what'd your mother say to you?
She said, you'll be leaving pretty soon.
Yeah, she was right. You left. You got drafted the next couple years. Let's see. So we're on page 302. This is taking place on the front line. And I can read a few pages of your book.
Okay.
Or you want to read them?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Page 302, I believe we're on chapter 12 or 13, and let me read a few pages. This chapter is titled Snow, Bunkers, and Panzers. This is taking place in the front line. We talked a little in low tones and keeping our we talked a little in low tones, always keeping an ear cocked for any strange noises. He was from Indiana, away from Evansville, and this was his first time away from home. I smiled and said, welcome to the club. Most of the division is in the same situation. So they're all teenage boys fighting in the Battle of Bulge.
33, all 33.
33, the code name for teenage boys. He did not have a steady girlfriend, but he knew several. I smiled at that. He worked at a defense plant after graduating from high school, and it was not long before Uncle Sam got a hold of him. He seemed like a nice person, someone you could trust for your life with. I huddled in my blanket and thought of the utter futility and uselessness of this entire charade. The absurdity of this outpost in the freezing weather was meaningless and complete nonsense. We were told too far up north to be included in the German offensive. I expected we'd be moving up shortly as soon as the higher echelon got their act together. Hubert returned in a little while. So this, what you're saying here is, you weren't even in the actual war zone. It was foolish to be standing guard in the middle of rain, snow, freezing very badly. Hubert returned in a little while and left the bunker and returned to a larger one to get some sleep. I thought of Lieutenant Mancuso sleeping all the warmth and comfort at the chateau back in town, and how some got the great deals while the rest of us struggled along from day to day. Granted, we did not see the big picture, but there was no justification or reason to expose troops in such a manner by incompetent and unskilled leaders. How was this Lieutenant Mancuso?
Ex-mail clerk.
A mail clerk?
Yeah.
How did he get to be lieutenant?
Suckle.
Suckle?
Yeah.
Real kiss ass?
Yeah.
A kiss ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The morning we got the word we're moving up, we were attached to the 17th Airborne Corps and heading south. Everyone was apprehensive and electrified with fear and excitement, especially the men who had been thrust into the midst of this conflict and thought they had no business being here. As we bounced around in the trucks, Grayton became noticeably disturbed and bewildered. I thought of Varilla and tried talking to him to reassure him that he'd be all right, but I soon realized he was too far gone.
Yeah.
That's Grayton.
Yeah.
Too far gone. His two companions, Kosh and Fuller, were not much better. I wondered what I was going to do with them when I got on the line. In the distance, we could hear the rumble of the 105s and the 155s as they left the howitzers seeking out the enemy. At that time, it seemed like heavy thunder and lightning, which could be traumatic to newly arrived soldiers, as it subjected them to all kinds of delusional suppositions. I only hope that we would not be caught in the back of the trucks with incoming stuff, similar to what happened at Woltz. Woltz was bad, right?
Yeah.
Woltz was bad. I also thought of the AAA convoy that was splattered with machine gun fire. Those not killed directly were singled out and shot individually as they lay in the road. That was the problem. The SS was involved with that, and the ones that were wounded, the SS said, we're not bothering with prisoners.
Yeah.
We're just killing these Americans.
Yeah.
And that's all what was done. They're just killing them. They were not killed directly, but they're singled out and shot individually as they lay in the road. The 6x6s struggled to make a steep snow-covered grade.
15 and a half.
On the road. I thought, here is what we get. The Germans would be hiding in the brush and snow beside the road. When the trucks came in sight, they would open up on them. We passed several such spots without incident, and I only hoped we would arrive at our destination and get out of the trucks. So the last thing you wanted to do is be driving these trucks and the Germans open up on you.
Yeah.
You're like sitting ducks.
Yeah.
Suddenly the trucks came to a screeching halt and everyone climbed out, looking to see where we were. The first platoon was hurriedly assembled, and the airborne sergeant motioned for us to follow him. We soon reached a clearing, and after walking for several minutes, spotted Post and our equipment. Who was Post again?
Post was a jeep driver.
He would follow you all around with your supplies, right?
Yeah.
He was a good guy, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were told to get our new crew weapon, as much ammo as we could carry. Another paratrooper came up to us, smiled, and told us to follow him. We were led to a small knoll just beyond the crossroad. Dig the gun in and make some holes for yourself, the sergeant stated, matter-of-factly. This was a defensive position to repulse the enemy from acquiring the crossroads. He also stated there was another gun emplacement about 200 yards on our right flank, and as yet there was nothing protecting our left flank. There was German patrols in the area all day, some in considerable strength. As long as there were no tanks accompanying them, we were to stand a fast hold. He also suggested we cover our holes with logs and earth to avoid getting hit by the tree burst from the mortar and artillery fire. So you dig a foxhole, and then on top of the foxhole you put like boards or logs. So when it blows up ahead of you, it's not going to hit the log instead of you, right? Yeah. We quickly got to the task, and in short order had the gun emplacement completely and roofed with logs. How did, it's the coldest winter record in the Ardennes forest. How were you able to dig holes in the rock solid ice?
It was hard.
Were you able to dig them deep enough to get in?
No, he didn't stay in the foxhole, no.
And I don't know.
He either go out or stay outside.
It was like digging cement.
Yeah.
So hard. Yeah. The squad was working on their foxhole and had them almost completed when we started to receive some mortar fire from the south. I jumped up to the emplacement with the gun crew and told them to get ready to fire. We had 6 full boxes of ammo in the hole with us, and I told Leip to keep track of the ammo as to not to run out. He nodded and looked for any movement to our immediate front. We spotted several white figures, 2 and 3s, creeping cautiously towards us. The white figures were the Nazis, right?
Yeah, they had sheets on.
Sheets on. To blend in with the snow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, camouflage. Behind them were perhaps a dozen or so, fanning out to our unprotected left flank. I motioned to Lake to commence firing, and I could hear the gun to our right open up at the same time. The Germans got caught in the crossfire, and as they hit the ground seeking protection from our fire, they began firing their Schmozer's MP-40 burp guns. What size caliber is a burp gun?
30 caliber.
Behind them, there were Nebelwaffers and mortars began firing to our position. I could hear the shrapnel from the tree burst hitting the timbers over our heads. There was a thin screen of infantry in a circle around us with our guns, but I imagined they were keeping their heads down. The mortar fire increased in intensity, which only meant one thing: tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means the Panzer tanks are coming.
Yeah.
Not good. We kept on firing, and we could see the white-clad figures falling. We could see the white-clad figures falling to the snow, covering it in bright red. Others would scramble for covers in ditches on each side of the road. I hope our infantry would pick them off. We had used several boxes of ammo, and I motioned Leip to see if he could get an ammo barrel in a hole nearest to us and toss us several boxes. Because your machine gun would go through a lot of ammo.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of rounds.
Yeah.
And that machine gun barrel got red hot.
Yeah.
What was the combination? How'd you cool it?
Antifreeze.
And water, right?
Yeah.
He was thinking unsuccessful in getting a response. probably because they didn't want to stick their heads out of the holes. I told them to keep firing, and I would try to get some movement from them. Crawling out of the bunker, I crept towards the first foxhole. As I reached it, a barrage of mortar shells went off, and I dived headfirst into the foxhole, striking the ammo barrel. Luckily, it was Lester, rather than Sullivan, or one of the rear echelon persons. I explained to him that we're running out of short ammo and needed his 6 boxes. I threw the boxes as far as I could throw them towards a gun emplacement. And then when the armor mortars let up, I crawled out of the hole and reached the box of ammo and tossed them near the gun. So you guys are going through a lot of ammo.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Lape was firing too rapidly. When I reached the gun, I dropped them down in the bunker and followed in after him. I peered to the front but could not see any movement. I turned to Lester, who was half out of the hole, and motioned to have the person behind him toss the ammo to his hole. He understood, and during the lull in the mortar firing, got another load of ammo into the hole. How big were these ammo boxes?
Well, 2 by 6.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. They were heavy too.
Were they a couple 100 pounds?
Yeah.
Jeez. He understood that when you were firing a machine gun, did someone have to hold the ammo band?
On the machine gun?
Guiding it in?
No. It fit itself.
It fed it out itself, right?
Yeah.
Firing at them, I could see several going down. Let's see. He understood that during the lull in the mortar fire, got another load of ammo in his hole. Once again, the mortars opened up, and the white figures proceeded towards us. Firing at them, I could see several go down, screaming in pain, but they still kept coming. The gun on our right was firing more rapidly, and I hoped they would not run out of ammo.
Yeah.
Because you ran out of ammo, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I motioned to Lester to watch his left flank and to get the rest of the squad looking in that direction. He nodded, and I knew that he understood me. There were sounds of larger shells going overhead. It was outgoing. A 105 battery had opened up in our rear. I could make out the bodies of the dead Germans strewn in front of our position. They had breached our initial perimeter. The screen of riflemen were now entering our second perimeter, our guns in placement. So in front of you were the infantry.
Yeah.
And then behind you was your heavy-duty machine guns.
Yeah.
Did the infantry have many casualties?
Oh yeah, they were front line.
Right there.
Yeah.
Large gaps have developed between our units. As the enemy kept pouring in, a platoon of 81 millimeter mortars from our company was quickly put in place behind us to lend supporting fire. An AAA unit was brought up and dug in around us, its quads 50s blazing away at the audacious and onrushing German infantrymen who were firing machine guns, burp guns, rifles, and machine pistols. All we needed was a platoon Tiger tanks spitting out their deadly 88s. How big are 88s?
88?
Yeah.
30 caliber.
Wow. As 57 millimeter and 75 millimeter assault platoons were put on the line, they began firing point blank at the German infantry. Lucky some of these units covering our left flank and an 81s were peppering in the same area. I motioned to Lake to fire bursts to conserve our critical supply of ammo. So you're always fighting for ammo, right?
Yeah.
Because you go through so much of it, thousands of rounds.
Then hard to get back. Hard to get in, yeah.
Yeah, minutes please. Thousands of rounds every few minutes. The new-built warfare shelling increased in intensity, and I wondered how our people were making out in the uncovered foxhole. The Germans firing by the clock with artillery dropping 20 to 30 rounds every 5 minutes. I felt sorry for the new replacements to have gone through this ideal the first day online. If they were lucky enough to live through it, I thought of the two original ammo bearers and wonder if they were making it through all this in their uncovered slit trenches. This was a pitiful profusion of the dead and wounded scattered to our immediate front, some of ours, but mostly German infantry. Their screams in terror, moans of pain were deafening, and I couldn't imagine how this was affecting the new men, wherever they may be. The sounds of the German barrage must be terrifying to them. Our 105s were landing directly on top of the advancing troops. I could hear their blood-curdling screams of pain as the flesh was literally torn from their bodies by the shrapnel ripping into them. I spotted several trying to escape the bombardment, and I quickly motioned the Lape to fire at them, cutting them down before they could make it to the ditches on each side of the road. I brought down several with my M1, trying to keep them from entering the ditches and eventually coming up behind us. Suddenly it was quiet, and there was no movement at the front. A paratrooper came out from nowhere, walked to our front, and returned to our bunker. "You guys did good. The Germans have highlighted it for now." No, excuse me, the Germans have hightailed it for now. Take a break, he smiled and walked away. Lester came up and said we got some casualties. I walked back with him to one of the holes. It was a hole where Guyton had occupied. It was twice the size he had originally dug. He had received a direct mortar hit, and in his confined space just concentrated the force of the blast. Blood and parts of his limbs were spattered all about and inside and outside the hole. There was not enough left of Guyton to make a positive identification. I could not even find his dog tags. Lester then brought me to another hole. It was fuller. Somehow he's taken several rounds from a burp gun, as half as his face was gone. He must have been peering out of the foxhole when he was caught unexpectedly by a German soldier. I took one of his dog tags and put it in my field jacket. I was visibly shaken by what I saw. I did not know either of these men, but directly responsible for their tragic deaths. I should have paid more attention to their welfare than I had, and less to killing the Germans. Let's see, moving over to page 306. I was shocked and dismayed.
Just under two.
I was shocked and dismayed at finding them in such a condition. They were innocent victims, and ruthless and merciless war was thrust upon them without their knowledge. Sullivan and the rest of the squad were okay, and we returned to the gun to prepare for the German counterattack, which would eventually occur. Soon it would be dark, and we did not know what to expect. We stocked our emplacement with as many boxes of ammo as we could, still leaving room for the gun crew. Lester and Coach retrieved more ammo from the trailer, and their rear brought up some K-rations and fresh supply of water. They told us that Post had survived the bombardment, and he was holed up in one of the cellars in town, a short distance away. We then settled down for the long night ahead of us. Give me that clip right there. Oh, no. So that was a really bad attack.
Yeah.
That was a really bad attack. And Post, he would go in town and stay in the basement because he wasn't a fighter. He was someone that brought you supplies.
Yeah.
So that was his protocol.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a major war. And the conditions were what? 20 below?
Yeah. Snow.
Did you have the proper clothing?
Right.
Did you have the proper?
No.
Did you wear gloves?
The little cloth gloves.
Cloth gloves.
But you didn't have winter gloves?
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Wow. That's a beautiful book, Mr. Jeckovich. We only have about 10 seconds left and the studio closes. It's still early. What do you want to do now?
What time is it?
It's still about 7:30 or 8. the studio closes now, but what do you want to do now?